After waiting for what feels like forever, the 2026 C8 Corvette build and buy tool is up. It is finally up for us to go through all the options, see what's new, check out pricing, literally build your own 2026. Like I said, I feel like we've been waiting for this forever, but it is finally here, guys. So let's go through it. So on the actual Corvette webpage here, we can scroll down to the bottom or near the bottom and hit build and buy. So like I said, this is going to allow you to put together your own car and also check out the price. So we'll go ahead and hit build and buy, and it takes us to the page where you're then going to be able to select the 2026 model year. Obviously, this is the Stingray, which is not the model we're going to build. We're actually going to go ahead and build a ZR1 because if there's any new options, that's where they're all going to be. So let's go ahead and select vehicles, performance. And as you can see here, the ZR1X is available right on this page, but if you click on it, it is not actually available for the builder. So the 2026 builder or a builder in general is not available for the ZR1X yet. So we will go back into the ZR1 build and buy, and now we can go ahead and go through all of these options here. So for me, obviously, this is the car that I'm going to be purchasing here very soon. Coupe, 3LZ interior, and we're going to most likely do it in black. Now the electrochromic dimming roof is available here on this particular builder now because this is a new option for 2026, but I did just verify that this roof is not able to be transferred to older model years. If this didn't come with the car, you will not be able to add it to a car later. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure you get it at the time of the build or else it will not be able to be added. You can't retrofit it. Scrolling down a little bit more, we have the wheels here. All of these have stayed the same. I would get just the regular stock wheels because I'd be adding Forged Light wheels most likely to it anyway. So we'll skip the wheels. Coming down to the brake calipers, I am going to do bright red brake calipers. And coming down a little bit more, of course, a lot of the same stuff here. Nothing really brand new that I found in here that we didn't already know about, which is kind of surprising. I thought for sure we were going to get some sort of surprising mod or option here and there that nobody has talked about yet, but for the most part, this is all exactly the same. So racing stripes, all of these are the same options we already knew about. So moving on to the interior, again, I would do the adrenaline red with the perforated inserts. Scrolling down a little bit more, of course we do have our new options in here. So the very dark atmosphere, if you wanted to do that, which is kind of odd to me. I saw this in person and it's really kind of like a chocolate color. I don't know what color that would go with really well in my opinion, but of course there's a lot of different options here now that we didn't have in the past, but I would still stick with what I know is going to work for me, and that's going to be the adrenaline red Napa leather seating surfaces. But while we're on the interior, we might as well check out some of the new options that are available here. So obviously we do have that Santorini blue Napa leather surface seating area. So check this out. That actually looks pretty neat. Now, even with the competition seats, it kind of changes up exactly where that blue goes over the adrenaline red. So if you see the seating surface on the bottom there is actually all blue, whereas on the adrenaline red, it actually is black with red stitching. So difference here and there with the Santorini blue. It's actually really cool looking if you check that out. It's a lot more blue in there. So definitely the option you'd want to go with if you're going with that classic ZR1 look, because it is all blue like this on the interior. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the blue with it, but I do get that it is kind of the classic ZR1 look. So really cool looking there. And then of course you got your new Sky Cool with medium ash and habanero accents. Again, a neat looking option. I'm glad that GM's stepping outside of their comfort zone a little bit, but not something I would personally select. So habanero stitching, Sky Cool gray, and some ash color, kind of a different look. Yeah, I think this would look really good with a Sebring orange exterior. There was actually a car just like this at Corvettes at Carlisle this past year, and it looked pretty good. This is probably the spec I would choose if I was going with a Sebring orange car. And then of course, scrolling down a little bit more, we get that very dark atmosphere, which we touched on a second ago. Really, I'm not sure what color I would do this on because it's kind of a chocolate color, but it still has pretty much that same look as the other interiors as far as how it's set up, especially with the competition seats. It kind of breaks it up a little bit more, but gives you a very chocolate-esque looking interior. And then, of course, the ultimate suede jet black. This is going to put a lot of suede on the interior. And again, personally, not something I would go for, but I know at least one person that would, and that would be Jeremy, 2020 Matrix 8. He really likes the idea of the sueded or microfiber Alcantara stuff on pretty much everything, and that's what this is going to do. It's putting it on the dashboard, on the center console, on your door rests, everything. So very interesting to say the least. Asymmetrical adrenaline red interior, of course, going to give you a lot of the adrenaline red stuff with a different colored seat for the driver's side and passenger side. And you can set this up with competition seats or a competition and a GT2 seat for the passenger. So definitely a different look, different setup for sure. And then, of course, scrolling down some more, we get the option here to have a competition sport driver seat and GT2 passenger seat, or just a competition all around, which is what I would do to help break up that red on the seats themselves. Scrolling down some more, you get some seatbelt colors. The new one here is of course the Santorini blue seatbelt, and of course whenever it's brand new there's no picture of it, but at the end of the day it's a blue seatbelt, so you can have that as an option now. We knew that, but it's nice to see them finally on the builder. Scrolling down some more, you got the carbon fiber and suede micro wrap steering wheel. I would not do that personally, but moving on, we are going to do the ZTK performance package. Of course, it's going to remove the 4S tires and add the Cup 2Rs. Scrolling down a little bit more, we have some options for lug nuts, the dark stealth cross flags, which I would normally add, but I actually have a set of those already, so no need to add the cost to the car. Black lug nuts, I have 2 sets of those, don't need to add those. Chrome exterior badging, the Corvette script in the back in a different color. Again, nothing really new here. We get to the illuminated cross flags emblem. This is literally the one that will illuminate at night for $500, which is actually cheaper than I thought it was going to be, but still not something I would normally select myself. Coming down a little bit further, I would get the outside mirror covers in visible carbon fiber, but I already have a set of these ready to go, so I don't need to choose that option. I would do the Corvette Museum delivery. Scroll down some more, we get premium carpeted floor mats. I'd probably do those, but I actually have a set of those as well. And here's where we get some custom stitching. If you were going to do mostly a black interior, you can do the Santorini blue leather stitching now, adrenaline red, competition yellow. Really awesome that we're getting all these options finally, but again, we knew that these were coming. So I would do the stealth interior trim package. The level 1 carbon fiber package here I would not do. I'm going to do the level 2. The visible carbon fiber door plates, I like those, but not for that price. I would try to find these aftermarket if I would do them at all, but definitely a cool option. The sueded microfiber frunk and trunk compartments in red or black, and also the natural kind of tan color are now available on here as well. The carbon fiber level 2 package is what I would do. I love the way that looks on the interior, especially since it helps break up that red that we added earlier. I will do the black exhaust tips, even though I probably end up with a aftermarket exhaust just because there isn't a lot available out there just yet, and I'm not sure how it's going to look. So for now, I want to make sure that those are black. Front end lift is an absolute must with the C8 Corvette in general, I think, personally. So that would be my build right there, guys. So based on the price that I'm seeing here versus what it would cost in 2025, it is roughly $9,000 to $10,000 more than it was for a 2025. So this total being $222,000 was around $210,000 to $212,000 on a 2025. Now, of course, this is before taxes or anything, so yeah, this thing's going to get expensive. But at the end of the day, we already kind of knew that, and I can't even begin to fathom what that ZR1X builder is going to look like. Now, again, pretty cool. You can see in the picture here, didn't really note this anywhere else, but you can see in the picture that it is including the new 10 piston calipers in the front and 6 in the rear. You can see that gigantic caliper kind of poking out behind the wheel, but again, very large calipers on this car. And that actually might pose a problem for some aftermarket wheel companies because of how big those freaking calipers are. Either way, this is the build, and again, the building price tool is now available, obviously, so we're able to build the 26, see that new interior, and get the price for the cars across the board, whether you're looking at an E-Ray, Z06, Stingray, or the ZR1. Now, like I said, the ZR1X is not available yet, but if I had to guess, it should be up here probably within the next 2 weeks. My guess is they're probably working on some different options for it. Like when we first saw this builder, there was that little carbon fiber kind of flap that went here in the front. We all assumed that that was going to be for the next model, and it probably will make an appearance for the ZR1X builder tool once it's available, if I had to guess. But either way, guys, that's it. So if you didn't know, the 26 builder tool is available, so go check it out on your build. Anyway, smash the thumbs up button if it helped you. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And as always, guys, stay obsessed.